here and turn to your left and go down, you'll find the restrooms. Annual membership is $60, $10 at the door if you come for any of our events. Our future speakers are going to be Robert Marshall and Scott Shear by hyperbaric oxygen. The speakers tonight will be Tim Gilbert and Melissa Pritchley. Now this is our normal part where we have a forum where we ask questions and try to get answers. Does anybody have any information that they'd like to share with any of us? Well, let me ask you all a question. How many of you have joined gyms in your life? Okay. Now here's a question. When you went to the gym, did you go see a trainer at the gym? Did you ever go to the trainer and tell them what your physical problems are? Or did you just start going and working out an assumption that you knew what you were doing? And the answer is, well, here's a true story. I decided to join the Y, and I was going to get myself in condition to look like Adonis. And so I started working out. What's that? Not yet. I'm half Adonis. So, those are personal questions. Anyhow, so I decided that I was going to start working on the treadmill, and I did it like an old man. I didn't do anything exotic. I just kind of plodded on the thing, you know. And I have a gal next to me running full blast, and I'm kind of like, no, I don't think so. So I went up to this gal who's a trainer there, and I said to her, what would you recommend for hamstrings? And she said, well, let me show you this machine. And it's the one where you lay flat and you put your legs underneath and you lift the bar. You know which one I'm talking about? Well, here's the gist of the conversation. Is that when I was 19 years old, I was playing a pickup game of basketball. And there was a guy I was playing with that did not know basketball etiquette. And so he hit me from behind. And he damaged the back of my left knee. And it's bothered me my entire life now that I'm 29. And so when I did the exercise and I lifted that bar up, I kind of thought to myself, this is not working out real well. And so I didn't give it a time to really rest. And so I kind of did there's a leg press that you do against a weight, and you push the bar back and forth. And I kind of did that, and then I left. And I went home, and I thought to myself, there's a lot of stupidity inside of me. And then I started to be a cripple. And I thought to myself, something is wrong with this picture. And so I made an appointment, saw the doctor, and he said, he said, I think you have a Baker's cyst. I mean, what the hell's a Baker's cyst? So I sat me down and what's the one where they do the gel on there? What is it? What is it? Well, ultrasound. And so the gal did the ultrasound. She said, oh yeah, you got a Baker's cyst. As if like, there's nothing to it. I left and I went, Baker's cyst. So I got on the internet, started reading about Baker's cyst. And I'm like, well, there's not a whole lot of magic to a Baker's cyst. You know, you have a bursa sac behind your knee, and it gets inflamed with synovial fluid. And then your leg turns to crap. And you walk like you're Dennis Weaver. Remember Dennis? You know? And so I'm like, why did I listen to anybody about doing this stuff? And so that's what's driving the question tonight, because when you have ailments, you really need to think about when you go to the gym. What? You all right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The first problem was that trainer probably wasn't a trainer, but a salesperson.
Not, I'm not so sure at the why it's really a salesperson as such. The why is pretty low key. She just kind of matter-of-factly said it to me. But I begin to think because so many of us take things on and we wind up getting injured later on. That's my story. How about anybody here? Any questions? Any questions? Any answers? Byrne, you got anything new? Or are you going to be a mute?
He won't be.
Marcel Marceau over here. What population?
They're gearing themselves probably to a younger population.
Come over here.
And that may be the issue there. Gyms many times are just geared for a younger population. I own a company that does hydrostatic weighing, so we measure actually how much muscle you have, and basically that's what's the best concern is people losing muscle as they age. And many times the workout routines are just totally wrong. They have you in the gym for far too long. You should only probably be spending about 20 minutes in the gym. You should be in and out. And if you're in there for more than an hour, you actually are just going to get fatter because you're probably doing aerobics, and aerobics makes you fat. That's the dirty little secret in the industry. And so it's about high intensity, safe, slow strength training that gets you the best results as you age. Yes.
Are you going to talk or?
I was going to suggest one thing. Had a very interesting conversation with Jonathan Wright about a month ago. And Jonathan is an exciting guy if you know about his work at Tacoma. And one of his patients was referred to me about a few months ago with serious knee injury and bone to bone. And Jonathan recommended that I take a look at him and suggest some things. And Jonathan and I were on the phone together. And one of the things we both agree that works immediately is taking 1,000 milligrams of niacinamide 3 times a day. And within a few months, this man is walking again. And the other thing I put him on, and there's a fellow here that comes here all the time, Steve, the tall guy, blonde. I haven't seen him in a while, but he had a rotator injury, serious rotator injury. And the same thing, I told him niacinamide and 60 grams of collagen, not 30, not 40. It was 60 grams. Both of them went on 60 grams of collagen. Went back to Jonathan Wright, and Jonathan calls me and says, "Byrne, this is amazing. What else did you give him? Because I've never seen anything like that." And it was 1,000 niacinamide 3 times a day and 60 grams of collagen at one time. Both of them are totally recovered. And there's another fellow who is in the sports industry, and he just injured his knee very badly. And he's been on 60 grams of collagen and niacinamide, and also in a few days, the pain was gone. He's walking normally. He's back to training now with the team that referred him over. So I would say if you're looking for something that really works fast, those two combination does work.
Oh, I can't go up the stairs.
For any joint injuries, arthritis, or anything like that, look into low-level light laser therapy, very low level. I'm talking about 200 milliwatts done for 90 seconds in each of your joints, because anything that gets stressed biologically gets stronger. And so hitting a joint with this low-level light laser actually increases the synovial fluid. That's the lubrication. Pain goes away. Actually, it increases the hyaluronic acid that attracts 1,000 times its weight in a fluid. So you can self-treat. These devices are very inexpensive. You can find the studies all on the internet. Just type LLLT and whatever your condition is, and you'll find the protocol. So you could actually take care of yourself.
thought I'd mention an article I came across about creatine. Apparently, bacteria in your gut transform it to something that induces atherosclerosis. And it may be the best explanation about how red meat.
No, it's not creatine that does
Well, that was the study.
No, I know. Actually, no. He said it's L-carnitine. Actually, is Philip Miller here? Philip and I had a huge discussions. Richard Cunha and I had discussions. Len Saput and I. L-carnitine doesn't do that. It is choline, a molecule called choline, inositol-choline. When you have too much choline, it is choline that harbors these bad bacteria. So that's why even Steve Folks is against too much choline molecules. So L-carnitine has zero to do with it. They reported it wrong. But I'll tell you something about creatine. There's a new study now that creatine has recently been published that it actually prevents and treats glycation, brain glycation, aggregation, and can also protect you against Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. So creatine is actually a good thing to take. But L-carnitine is a molecule that's essential for, heart function. But it is choline. Yes, but the new study just came out. Friends of mine were involved in the studies, and they actually found that it was a molecule called choline, C-H-O-L-I-N-E. And Steve and I spoke about it. You know Steve Folks. He agrees with me on that. And he says it was misreported, and he wanted to write about it and report it back to you guys. Another one I'll tell you that's very exciting you should think about is magnolia bark. That's going to be another anti-aging molecule that reverses inflammation and oxidative stress. And the combination is known to have depression, anxiety disorders, everything. It is one of the key molecules we're looking at for cancer, inhibiting all forms of cancer. We'll have that finished next week on that molecule, but that's an exciting one.
One of the things I've said to the group several times is that when I come to the group, I'm always listening to see if I come across something that grabs my attention. And a lot of times people don't come to the group for whatever reason, but you never know what you're going to run into. And one of the things I did when I was in school, and one reason I wasn't a great student, was I was always reading and trying to see things that caught my attention that I could file away in case I was on a desert island or whatever kind might take place. And so when you come to the group, you never know what you're going to learn or what piece of information you're going to walk away with. And I've said many times is that I have a magnet for my bed. And I swear it's the reason that my wife and I are not crippled when we get up in the morning, because of what it does. I have a biomat that one of the people here turned me on to. I take essential fatty acids from plants. This is a few of the things that I've gotten from the group. And for what we pay, $60 a year, I think it's a bargain. Because a lot of these people are international speakers. They go around the world, they talk in front of 10,000 people, 5,000 people. So I'm always curious where we are in the heart of the alternative world, and the room isn't filled. That's what kind of intrigues me. Because the information we have, like Byrne, is filled with, he could go every session for an hour on his own. So it's just an interesting group to belong to, I think. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Anything you want to relay?
The Institute for Functional Medicine is having a detox challenge, and we're going to email this to all of the people whose email we have and all the members. And what this is September 4th through 29th. They'll be talking about different toxins and way to detox, and it's a program where there's going to be suggested shopping list, weekly live calls you can listen to, daily expert interviews. Normally they do it through a clinician and go through their office, but I've arranged that we can just send it to you directly, and you can go online and get it directly. This is the Institute for Functional Medicine set up by Mark Hyman. So look out, that should be coming in your email soon.
I'd like to make a little announcement by Susan Downs, our president of the Silicon Valley Health Institute. She's very modest, but I want you to know she's been receiving a lot of accomplishments. She has successfully received 2 awards. Her first one, she has successfully completed her fellowship in anti-aging medicine. She has so many degrees after her name. Anyway, this is the certificate she received, and we're having a small party for her. Also, give her a little hand, and there's a card going around the room if you can please sign it. And also, she has successfully passed the board for the American Board of Integrative and Holistic Medicine. So she's keeping very busy. Thank you, Susan. Also, we lost one of our good friends, Dr. Timothy Gallagher, if you haven't heard yet. Apparently, he was exercising and he died of a heart attack. It's not the exercising that caused the heart attack. But anyway, if you want to go to the memorial, I have the information on it. It's, I think, next Thursday. And I'm also passing a card around for him also, if you'll please sign it if you knew him. Thanks.
Tomorrow night at the Unity Community Church, there's going to be a speaker, Yuri Kron, who's a friend of mine, and he's going to talk about subtle energy, which is really fascinating. I used to be involved with a mineral company, and Yuri would charge our minerals. And you'd have to listen to him to hear what it's all about, but it's really fascinating. All right, anything else? What's that say? What's it say, Bern? What day was that?
No. I'm talking about the Tim Gallagher. Tim Gallagher's.
Give me a break.